Hello, 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 hello. Excuse me. Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. Earlier today, we were having technical difficulties, but it looks like we are fine right now for the time being. Guys, we have a very, very, very special guest that is here for us with us today. We have Mr. Nicky Links. He is a food reviewer, a filmmaker from South Philadelphia, born and raised. And we're going to get on here and we're going to talk about growing up in South Philly. We're going to talk about the South Philly food scene because it's a very, very, very unique food scene. And more importantly, we're going to talk about the Italian food scene. That is a big, big food culture in South Philadelphia. Guys, when I tell you South Philadelphia is not big, but it packs a powerful punch when it comes to food, when it comes to culture, when it comes to style. It's just so many different faces inside of South Philly, which I believe, because you have South Philly, you have North Philly, you have Southwest, you have West, and you have Northeast. I believe, don't quote me on this, I'm not writing don't go by writing book reports, right? Shout out to the Philly captain. But I believe the South Philly is the smallest out of all of the other areas, including the outskirts, um, like Lower Marion with Kobe Bryant. They say he's from Pottstown, places like that. So we're gonna get the overlay off, right? And then we're gonna bring up our special guest. How are we doing, Mr. Nicky?
What's up there, Goomba?
I am wonderful. I am wonderful. It's an honor to meet you face to face.
We got to
What's
do it really face to face soon.
Yes, 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 yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes, yes. So, Nikki, I gave them a brief synopsis of who you are, but I want you to kind of let people know who you are, what you do, and why you do it.
Well, at heart, I'm a filmmaker. I have made some feature films, and if you want to check it out, it's one of the films that's out on Amazon Prime and Tubi now. It's called Coffee with God. It's a good, uplifting, raise your spirit type of movie. It's not real religious, so even like people that aren't religious will still enjoy it. Um,
If you can send me the link to that, so I can put it in the chat, so
absolutely,
people.
absolutely. So ever since I was a little boy, I after I saw Superman, the first Superman with Christopher Reeve, I wanted to make movies. I saw Rocky, and I turned into I wanted to be a fighter, which I became a fighter. But I also wanted to make movies even more after I saw Rocky. It just everything just resonated with me. They just took me away, and I wanted to do that. I still do. I feel like that's my job as a filmmaker to just pull people away from reality a little bit. Get a little break, especially today. But movies, they take a long time to make. They take a lot of money, and what do you do in between? When you're a creative person, you have to keep creating, or you're going nuts. And I'm not an artist like a painter or anything. I can't just get an idea and paint it. I have to get it out of my head. So I kind of decided one day I'm going to combine the two. I love to eat. I love where I live because the food is just tremendous. And I put them two together and started to do these food reviews. I did one or two. I didn't plan on making a YouTube channel out of it, but it turned into that. And that's what I do. I do these videos. I have two YouTube channels now, and I do these videos to keep my creative juices flowing, to keep me happy uh, as I'm working on the big stuff. So that's what I do. That's me in a nutshell.
Okay, so born and raised in South Philly. Tell everybody a little bit about how it was for you growing up in South Philly.
I wouldn't have. I miss it. I wouldn't have want to grown up anywhere else. It's different now. It's different now. Where I live is kind of still old South Philly, old school.
Okay.
The other side of Broad Street, it's just they're nice people and everything, but they're just different. It's just different people. The tradition's gone. Like when I was little, when I was growing up in South Philly, there was every every day at some point during the day, somebody would be walking up the street with a dish with tin foil over it, bringing it to their neighbors. Everybody used to share food, Italian food. It was fantastic. The whole neighborhood smelled like food all the time. It was everywhere, man. It was everywhere. It was great. Uh, and it's not like that anymore. A little bit where I am now, but times changed. South Philly is definitely not what it used to be, but it's still a special place to me. There's things I hate about it. There's things I love about it. But I wouldn't have want to grown up. I wouldn't want to have grown up anywhere else. It was. I think it made you a tough guy, and I don't mean this tough guy. I mean like, you know,
Yeah.
uh, personality wise. But I guess it made you a tough guy the other way too. I mean, you know how to handle yourself, and that's the thing with South Philly people. Everybody asks me, what's it like, and everybody thinks there's a tough guy. I said, no, it's not like, if there was a war, South Philly would just go and beat everybody. The point is, it doesn't. People in South Philly don't care
Yeah.
who you are. That's the idea.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You might be able to beat their ass, but uh, they don't care. There's going to be a fight.
Yeah.
That's the toughness. I guess not just in South Philly. But it was a big tradition type of thing. That's how people grew up.
Yeah.
Food, fights, and sports.
When I was back home, I walked up Passion Avenue because
Yep.
when I was a kid, I used to always go to Man's Image and
Yeah.
get clothes from Man's Image, and I
Yeah.
realized that it's not there no more. I was like, wait a minute, like what happened? Like, but nothing lasts forever.
No.
Um, and it's funny. I seen your video about when you went to Catholic school, and I went to St. Philip's on Second and Christian,
Okay.
right across the street from the Wawa. And then I went to St. Cashmere that was on like between Third and Fourth and Wharton. Got kicked out of both of them. And then I went to public school, George Washington. So it's like, it's funny
Yeah.
because we could have this conversation and we could kind of go off on a tangent because we're from South Philly and there's so many different hidden gems like the Pretzel Factory, the one on 8th and Washington, and then they got the one on uh
Federal.
Federal Street, and I'm pretty sure there's
Yeah.
one on Oregon Avenue, right? And that's still
Philly pretzel. Yeah, they're like that's still like the chain, the Philly pretzel, but like the old time ones, like when I grew up in South Philly, especially in the summer, you would I'd wait, I'd be sleeping in my mom's room because it was a small house, and I would be in a cot, and she'd be up, and Saturday mornings or whatever, you would wake up to this kid walking up the street screaming, "Fear Rage, Peerage Souls," right? And you'd hear it. Everybody would wake up. I'm like, I'm going to get me some pretzels. To go downstairs, run to tell my mother, "Mom, can you get some pretzels?" She's already getting them. She's already down there getting them. They used to come around on a bike or a cart, a shopping cart, and in the cart used to be a wicker basket. But you open up that wicker basket, and there was a towel. And you open up the towel, and there was hot pretzels in there from Federal Street pretzels, and
oh,
that scent. Oh man, it's something that it just it never leaves. It's like it's right in front of me. The way it was such an experience. I don't know how I got on that at this topic, but
is
uh,
it is it still how it was back in the day where you could go 3 o'clock in the morning and get a pretzel? Like they open at 3 o'clock in the morning. I know 8th and Washington Avenue used to open up around that time. I don't know about the Federal Street because Federal Street used to service all of the schools.
yeah.
Um, so I
Well, there's
wonder.
not there's not a lot of places that make even like I think Center City Pretzel even closed. Like I think they're all closed. I think there's like one, and I'm not sure who it is that is still making the South Philly pretzel, a Philadelphia pretzel. There's other pretzels, but like you said, like it's the pretzel company, Philadelphia Pretzel Company. They're
No.
soft pretzels, but they're not like the ones we used to get. Like
Yeah,
they're different. They're just
yeah.
different.
'Cause I just seen a video from I don't know if you know South Philly Spots, the YouTube channel.
Yeah,
Um,
that's what's his name? Steve.
he's the comedian, right?
Yeah, he's a friend of mine. Yeah, I know. I know Steve.
Yeah.
I know as well, not him. I know his dad and his. Yeah, I know the family.
Yeah, but he had just did an interview with South Philly Spots because the daughter runs it now.
Is that right?
Yeah, she runs it, but I don't know their times. And it looked like it's still the same. It don't look like they changed anything as far as the outer part of it, from what I can see. I mean, as far
Right.
as the recipe and anything, I'm figuring if she took it over from her father, then she's not changing the recipe. Because you
Nah.
used to be able to go there and get 4 pretzels for $1.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know how much they cost. How much is a pretzel now when you
I
store?
I try to stay away from them because if I eat one, I'm gonna eat 12. you know, I'm only being honest. That's not. It's like a Dorito. You can't just eat one.
Yeah. Also, I did not know that the pizza pretzel
Mm,
was a South Philly thing.
yeah.
Like if you go outside of South Philly, they don't know about it.
Nope.
It's like, whoa. And then you would think as a kid, you don't know no better. This is regular life to you. Like
Yeah.
going to get a because I went to school, I went to Bach High School. Right
Yeah.
across the street from Bach was a little corner store.
Reds.
Where they would make is that what the name of it was?
Reds hoagies. Yeah.
Yeah, so I would go in there in the morning. I would get a quarter hug, a pizza pretzel, and a jelly crimpet every morning. Every morning, before I go to school, and I would get the pizza pretzel, and it's like at that time the pizza pretzel was 75 cents, the hug was a quarter, and I think the tasty cake was 50 cents. You can't find those three things for $1.50 no more.
No.
The tasty cake
No.
by itself is probably $1.50.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Everything's out. Everything's crazy now. But you're right. That's out. That pizza pretzels is definitely a South Philly thing. I remember when I was a kid getting them. They also used to do. It was very popular when I was younger. Was the cheesesteak on the pretzel? They used to slice the pretzel in half and throw the cheesesteak on it. Some places, little places, would do it. Like I think it was Italiano's. It was a 12th and Shunk. It was a water ice place, but They used to sell pizza pretzels. You know,
The cheesesteak pretzels.
not to, yeah, no, 9th Street, around 9th Street, they used to sell the pizza pretzel, the cheesesteak pretzels.
Now I've never had that before.
Dude, it's really good, man. There's a place in Jersey, Peter and Sons, it's called.
And that's the
And
guy
they
that
make
worked
them.
at Geno's, right? The
No.
family. Okay.
Uh, uh,
Because there's some guy that worked at Geno's, and then he moved to New Jersey, and he started making cheesesteaks. But then he made the
maybe
cheesesteak.
it was Pete. Maybe it was Pete.
Because
Yeah,
like
but
it's like an hour and a half from Philly, right? If I'm
what
not
to go
mistaken.
to Peter and Sons? It's probably about 45 minutes.
Okay. I
Yeah,
think that's the same. I think we talk about the same place.
yeah,
Yeah.
really, really good. That's the first. Like I've had them when I was younger, and I haven't had one again until I did that video on Peter and
Oh,
Sons. It was really good. It's really good, man. It's
wow.
something about the extra like the extra salt the because when you bite a cheesesteak, there's no salt, you
Yeah.
know,
Unless they
but
add the sauce.
yeah, it just does something to it. I don't know, and the glaze on the pretzel and the consistency of it and everything is so good. It's so good.
Everybody talks about that place now in South Philly. I think it's two. They got two locations. Um, start with an H. I believe you were supposed to do a food review with them, and they do the cheesesteak pretzel thingamajiggy.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That was what is that place? That was yeah. They just like fake. They finked out on me. They just never followed up. We missed one day because we had to cancel, And then I tried to reschedule like 3 times with them, and they never answer me.
Oh,
I
wow.
forgot what that place is called. Yeah, it's a little place on the corner. It's actually a coffee shop. They saw that's what it is. It's like, and then they put their breakfast sandwiches on pretzels, and then they do cheesesteaks and stuff on the pretzel.
Wait, so it's like a cafe?
Yeah, yeah. It's like a they that's what they started. It's something coffee, I think it's called. Forgot the name of the place. And
So because
they had no, from what I understand, they had no idea, no plans on like their pretzels like being a popular thing. And I think I could be wrong. They make their own pretzel.
wow.
I think I could be wrong there. I think they do.
Have you ever heard of Blazing Flavors? That's in North Philly. It's on uh Germantown in York. He makes his own pretzels too, but he does the gourmet pretzels,
Hmm.
and he does the it's a shrimp and crab pretzel. It's the cheesesteak pretzel, but he makes his own. He even changes like the dimensions of the pretzel, how the pretzel looks, and it's like a boat, and your stuff is inside the boat. It's like it's called
Wow.
Blazing Flavors, and that's
Is he still
uh
there?
huh.
Is he still there?
Yeah. If you look them up on Instagram, Blazing Flavors, they've been there for a while. It's only takeout, I believe. It's only
Oh,
takeout, but he does um it's kind of like North Philly's version of John's Water Ice, but he gets really exotic with the flavors, and he has that part of it where he does his own pretzels, and he makes these like exotic pretzels. Also, another place in South Philly that does it is Pretzel Works, and I believe they open back up on the 15th of March. And it's a young lady that she does jerk chicken, pretzels, uh, chicken
wow.
parmesan pretzels, uh,
They're in South Philly?
yeah, chicken Alfredo pretzels,
Jeez.
um, uh, the jerk chicken, oxtail. The
Oxtail?
oxtail wave, yeah, the oxtail wave is like crazy right now. Did you see
Yeah,
the
yeah,
oxtail cheesesteaks? Like
yeah.
I never knew oxtails was that. It wasn't that popular when I was in Philly.
Nah,
It
no,
couldn't have been, you know.
no. I think that's more a new thing. What's the name has some really good stuff, and I've noticed a lot. It used to be a point where like it was just if you wanted a good cheesesteak, you had to go to South Philly, you know,
Yeah,
or stay in Philly.
well, now they got competition in other places.
Now,
Like
yeah, now Jersey's like really good. Like, there's a place I did a video on. It's called Just Like That, and they had a jerk chicken cheesesteak that was
ooh.
off the hook, dude. Off the hook. That place was so busy that I almost couldn't do the video.
Really?
Yeah, you can check the video out, man. That's some good food. And that was the Rasta Pasta video. Remember that?
Yeah, because
Yeah,
that place was green, right? It was green in the inside, right?
yeah, yeah,
Okay, yeah.
yeah,
You know what I think happened? You can tell me if you're agreeing with that. I believe that South Philly had such like a chokehold on the cheesesteak that people had to get um creative with what they was doing. And then the Muslim community, they can't eat like beef and pork and stuff. And they want to stay away from red meat. So that's the invention of the salmon cheesesteak, this jerk chicken cheesesteaks.
yeah,
And that's how and I think that, but to be honest, like Jersey has always had great food. They just been slept on. You know,
yeah.
because
Well,
everybody thinks when you go to Philly, you got to get a cheesesteak and a pretzel, but Jersey's right across the bridge.
yeah. You go to a place called Nona's in Deptford. That place will knock you right on your butt. They have one of the best cheesesteaks I've tasted in a long time, and the pizza's phenomenal. Yeah, it's what happened is there's like a lot of Philly did it right for the longest time with fresh cut ribeye. None of these frozen rectangle squares that a lot of these places take out and throw on the grill. And
Yeah,
that's the difference, man. That's the difference. And when other places started doing that, and they figured out, listen, We got to do real ribeye, fresh ribeye, and the bread. It's the bread. We got to get
Yeah,
the right bread, you know. And when they start, I mean, it's a cheesesteak. It's not hard to do a good cheesesteak. You just got to do it the right way, you know. And the people started doing, you know, they move out of Philly, go to Jersey. That's where Philly people go, and then it starts branching out, and people start taking their stuff with them. And now you can get good cheesesteak a lot of places. It's not just don't have to be Philly, you know.
yeah. Here in Arizona, you can't get a good
No,
cheesesteak.
I
I
saw
mean,
your
look,
vid.
this
I saw
pile.
that video. I'm like, oh my god, that poor guy.
The thing is that
I almost overnighted you a cheesesteak after I saw that, man.
like I don't think they get it. Like you can't pre-cook beef.
No,
You
no,
can't pre-cook it.
no.
Like it's the worst.
Yeah, it's
And
like
they
those
don't.
place. It's like those places. Do you ever go to those places like you gotta you're starving. You gotta dive in. You gotta get something. You go and you get like a burger, and they go in this bin and they take it out of hot water. Do you ever see that?
Yeah, I've never seen that, but I think that I'll cancel my order if I seen that.
Oh my god,
Like, oh my goodness.
it's like rubber.
Because you boil all the flavor out of the food. Like
Yeah, yeah. Plus, it turns into a hockey puck. That's what it looks like. It's terrible. I don't know. Like, think people aren't stupid, man. They want good food.
so I hear that there's a lot of good food places by the shore. Um down there by what was it Wildwood and not Ocean City, but like Wildwood.
Yeah, that's I. Ocean City's my place, but I agree. There's not a lot of great places. Like you can find good food, but there's nothing to brag about there. You know,
Okay.
like we go
Even
out
now,
even
even
now. Like there's some good places. You might get some good seafood places, but as far as like restaurants, they're okay. They're good. They're nothing I would brag about. It's not like a South Philly restaurant. Or we usually go to Summers Point, which is right outside there. We go to a place called the Grilled Cheese and Crab Cake Company, and they do. I
you
did
did
a
a video
video.
with them too, right?
Yeah, yeah, and they have like a crab melt and a really huge gluten-free facility where they just do gluten-free food for people that have the allergies. But they got really good sandwiches and really good burgers. They're really good. But that's where we normally go when we go. I'm always in Ocean City. Matter of fact, I was just there Saturday. I
Okay.
always go there. But Wildwood, I'm not too familiar with, to be honest, as far as food.
Okay.
Yeah,
Um, coming back into the Philly, what's your favorite what ice place? Because everybody keeps asking me out here about Rita's, and it's like I didn't really go to Rita's. I lived down the street from John's Wood Ice, so I would always go to John's Wood Ice. Now, what Rita does have is the pretzel with that cheese in the wood ice that you dip in the thing. That they do have that, but they're not the. How can I say? I don't want to say they're not the original. They aren't the original ice wood ice place.
no,
Like they're a chain at this point, right? 'Cause they
yeah,
got Rita's out here, but you
right,
know what? No, none of them have the pretzel. None of them. There's
yeah.
one place that I remember had the pretzel, and let me tell you, you would go in there and it would take them 15 minutes to make the pretzel because the pretzel was frozen. And I guess they got it frozen shipped to out here.
Right.
So it would take 15 minutes to make it, and you know how that came out, right?
Yeah,
You
right.
already
Yeah,
know.
no, you said it, John. John's is the best water ice in South Philly. John's water ice. Yeah, that's where I would go. There was a place. A lot of the other places closed up, like Italianos, and back in the day when I was young, was Joe Bates. That all that There's Pop's Water Ice on Oregon Avenue, Broad Oregon.
Okay, that's what I was about to ask you about. That's the store that is the colors of the Italian flag, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
And it's been there for 100 years.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know about that, but Pop's Water Ice has been around for a long time.
It's right on the uh,
It's
when you get off.
it's across from the park.
Yeah, so right across the street from the sub, right?
Yep, yep,
Yeah, then we talk about the same place.
yeah,
It said on the thing that they were there for 100 years. So that
yep.
means that they're older than John's, right?
Could be, yeah. Paul Pops. I know. I don't even remember there not being a Pops. Maybe not at that location. Maybe they're, you know what I mean. They might have been somewhere else in South Philly, and then that's their new other location. You know, combined that makes over 100 years, like their recipe and stuff. But I don't. I've always remembered Pops there on Oregon Avenue, so I don't know how long.
Yeah, because their pretzels are the original. And I got to tell you this story. I don't think I ever told you this story. So one time, so I live in Phoenix, Arizona. In Phoenix, people always think that Phoenix is just Phoenix, but it's not. It's different cities, right? So you have
Mm,
Phoenix, you have Mesa, you have Scottsdale, you have Goodyear. So in Goodyear, there's a Philadelphia pretzel factory, right? So you go down there, and they're doing what's your name pretzels, the heart shape. How do you the heart shape pretzel? You know what I'm talking about?
yeah,
Not the ones we got that was
right,
long, right? The
right.
other ones,
The
heart shape.
wider ones.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
So the lady, now remember, we're in Arizona. You don't have to tell these people. You don't have to lie to these people. They don't know. They don't know the difference. They don't know what you're telling them, right?
right.
So I'm in there, and like, look, we're gonna buy the pretzels anyway. We can't get them from Philly, right? But she's telling these people that I know had never been to Philly that this is the original pretzel. No, you're lying. That's not the original pretzel. The original pretzel is the pretzels that we used to get from the pretzel factory
Right.
with the salt on top of them, right?
Right.
And she said that, then this pissed me off. Tasty Cake was in the outskirts of Philly. No, Tasty Cake was in Northeast Philadelphia. That's where
Northeast.
they
Yep.
made it because I used to work at Wawa. I worked at Wawa a long time, and when we used to get the Tasty Cakes, they would be warm when they came to the store
Yeah.
because they would come early in the morning. It would be warm. You can't if they was in the outskirts or somewhere. There was no way that they were coming to me
No,
and
you're right.
the chestnut warm. So I'm
Right.
like, Miss, I'm like, Miss, I don't think you ever been to Philadelphia because you wouldn't be telling these people this. You, they're gonna buy the food anyway. So we go back and forth, and she tells me to get the f out. She kicks me out the door. But I'm like, listen, Miss, like people, they're not gonna not buy your food. But why are you lying? To, like everybody knows Tasty Cake for like you could Google that you could
Yeah.
Google it.
It's no
You know,
secret. Yeah.
and well, maybe to her defense, maybe she figured Northeast Philadelphia wasn't a part of Philly, but newsflash, baby girl, it's Northeast Philadelphia.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not Lower Marion, Pennsylvania. You
No.
know?
No. Definitely not. Yeah. No. They're in the Navy Yard now.
So you talk about in South Philly?
Yeah. The Tasty Cake moved into the Navy Yard.
Really?
Yep. Yeah. I don't
Oh,
know if
so
that's
those
in it.
pretzels are super hot going there, going. Well, they got rid of all the Wawas, right?
Mhm.
Downtown.
A lot of them are closing. Yeah. I don't know about all of them, but there a lot of them are closing. I never had that. We never had that many around here. We just had just they just built a brand new one on like the Platte Bridge, like right when you get off the Platte Bridge coming into South Philly. It's on the right hand side, right near Navy Yard. But if you go to Navy Yard now,
They don't have the one that's on Delaware Avenue because that's the one you would go to, right?
no,
I believe.
I hated that one. No, that was a piece of crap. That one, I hated that place. Yeah, hated that place. Didn't like the people. Didn't. It was dirty. It was like no, I didn't like that place. Uh, you know, but the we got like a super one now. Like I said on Platte, like right off the Platte Bridge, has gas and all that modern
So
Wawa.
I'm trying to think of where you're saying. So that's still Delaware Avenue, or that's up towards 24th Street.
Yeah, so
Because I
if
know.
you're coming over the Platte Bridge into South Philly and you come off the bridge, you could either go left and go on to take that road that puts you on 76, or you go straight onto Penrose Avenue.
Yeah, I've been to that one. I've been to
And
that one.
if you go to that, if you make that right, there's a Chick-fil-A there, and then they just put there, and then there's a Wawa.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So does that mean that they getting That's not that far from and the naval base is on what is that Christian and Washington Avenue, right? Delaware and
No,
Washington.
no, Navy base is like near the sports complex.
What am I thinking about? That's on Delaware and Christian. The cheesesteak spot is a cheesesteak spot there, right on the water. I think it's called Shunks or something like that.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, yeah, I know that. I never been to that place. I should try that place out. Never been there. They're supposed to be pretty good.
Really? Because they had the scrapple cheesesteaks.
Yep, yep, yeah. No, this is the Navy base. Is like if you were just coming from Center City down Broad Street into South Philly, and you kept going straight, you'd go right into the Navy Yard. And now that Navy Yard is like it's like a city, man. It's got everything in there. Businesses are all moved in there. There's a few places to eat in there, and tasty cakes in there.
And that's where now that's not that sport complex thing, right? Uh, that's not Philly Live, right?
No, no. You would. So if you're going down Broad Street, the link would be on your left, and all the sports complex that's all on your left hand side. This side would be FDR Park, the lakes.
The lakes, okay.
You just go straight, and you go right into the Navy Yard. You pass the lake, you pass the lakes, and you go right into the Navy Yard. And it was a real Navy Yard. It was like at the time, for a while, but then they shut it down, and now just businesses moved in there, and there's neighborhoods in there, and houses and businesses. It's crazy.
So
I
so
just
it's
did one of my videos in there on my other channel.
it's kind of like it's like its own little thing, kind
Yeah,
of.
it's like yeah. It's a pretty cool little area. A lot of businesses in there.
Oh. And a lot of people don't. Is it pretty fairly new?
Uh, I mean, I would say within the last 5 to 10 years, I guess.
Because I remember one thing I did notice when I was back home, the supermarket, Giant, like that wasn't there. Like I knew Acme, Super Fresh, which it seemed like there's no more Super Fresh. Um, Whole Foods, of course, ShopRite, Super Fresh. No, I said Super Fresh because I worked at Super Fresh. I worked at the one on Fifth and Pine. I worked at that one for a really long time. Um, but there are no more.
Yeah, now it's Acme, ShopRite, Aldi. There's a couple of Aldis now. We have
And then the Giant place is taking over
Giant. I don't remember I don't think we have a Giant.
because it's on Delaware. There's one on Delaware Avenue, and then there's one on what's that? Uh, Broad in Washington Avenue because the McDonald's is
Broadham,
not there no more.
Broadham, Washington. That's Target.
Yeah, Target and Sprouts. That's what I get.
Yeah,
It was Sprouts
yeah.
there. Yeah, but they got rid of the McDonald's. I remember it used to be a White Castle over there. I don't
Oh
think
my
that.
God, that White Castle, man! I used to hit that White Castle all the time. Just 30 White Castle hamburgers lined up on my dashboard with me and my friend would just down them.
um, what would you say is one of your so I want to talk about Italian food
All right.
um because I don't really when I think of Italian food I think of you know pasta and sauce, but
Yeah.
Italian food goes so deep. You have the veal, you have so many different seafood dishes. um
Yeah.
if you could break down some and there's on Washington Avenue there's so many different like Italian restaurant like white cloth restaurants, that
It,
a
it
lot of
really
people.
it really depends on what part of Italy you're talking about, I'm not a specialist in it. I like the old school stuff. Like I like the parmesans and the raviolis and the
Yeah,
pastas and chicken parm. I always say pizza, chicken parm. That's how it lines up with me. Two of my favorite foods.
yeah.
I like that kind of stuff. And there's God, there are dude, they're every other block where I live right now. I mean, everywhere. Like there's Scaniccios, there's Langelos, and then you got the Saloon, and you got Ralph's, and you have Villa de Roma, you have oh my God, there's the Mara's. That place has been there over 100 years. I went to Mara's. I would go when I was a kid, a little boy. I would go to the record store down the street on Passyunk Avenue, and then go right to Mara's and have pizza and their old school pastas, eggplant parmesan. Uh, I love that stuff.
And the Mariners that's the place with the black and white brick, right?
Yep, yep,
On Passyunk Avenue, right?
yep. Passyunk Avenue is the big thing now. Passyunk Avenue is like Manayunk, man.
Really?
It's yeah. All there's a lot of old school places, old school Italian places to eat and great places, but there's a lot of new ones now too that are opening up, and a lot of them are on Passyunk Avenue. There's a lot of shops opened up. Um, a lot of places to eat. There's a lot of coffee places. There's a lot of and those people that are moving into that neighborhood never had food like that. Like
Yeah.
South Philly. They're like, oh my God, where we been all these years? It's that's the one thing, man. When I move, I'm gonna miss because you eat well in South Philly. There ain't no doubt.
So you plan on moving out of South Philly?
Within the next hopefully within the next 2 to 3 years maybe.
Okay. And you just stay in Philly, or are you going down to the down Jersey?
Nah, I don't know. Though we don't know. We don't know yet. I'm like kind of at the point in my life now. I don't want to be bothered. You know what I mean? I don't want to be bothering everybody. And I just
Yeah.
when I was younger, I would fight everybody. Now it's just there's a lot of uh, personality here.
Yeah.
Which is a good word. And I kind of I don't want to deal with it. I just want to be left alone. I just want what I mean. Just leave me alone now.
Yeah.
So
You want your neighbors to be on the other side of you, that
yeah,
you don't have to.
yeah,
I wave when you walking your dog, and that's it.
that's it. Go, just leave me alone. I'll talk to you, say hi, but like I don't, you know, it's just not this. It's not what it used to be here. So I really wouldn't be missing that stuff because it doesn't happen anymore. The stuff that I grew up with.
Now, do you think that's a gift and a curse for somebody like you and myself when you grow up in a place? And let's be honest, it has changed. So, like the South Philly of the '90s is definitely not the South Philly of today, and the South Philly of the '80s is definitely not the South Philly of today.
No,
So, do you think that's like a gift and a curse? If you're not willing to embrace the change, because sometimes, like I'll be honest, when I went back home the last time. I gotta be real with you. I felt lost. Like I felt like I didn't.
like a stranger.
Home there. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I
like
feel like a stranger. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, is that the right feeling to have? Is that just my psyche or
No, I think that's normal, man. When I go back to my old neighborhood, I was just there shooting a video for my other channel and the Catholic school chant that video,
yeah.
and I went to my old neighborhood, and every time I go to my old neighborhood, I have mixed feelings. Like I get really sad because
Yeah.
I look at corners of intersections and houses and I just other those memories come flooding back, and now they're not those. It's not that anymore.
Yeah.
It's something different. That neighborhood, they made it beautiful. It's a lot nicer than when I lived there. You
Yeah.
know, but it's just not the same. It's just not the same. It's just different now.
And I wonder does that ring like for say let's somebody that grew up in the '50s and then the '80s came versus like I guess that would be happening to us now from the '80s to now. Like is it kind of like a revolving door, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I think people places change over time. I think it's normal, but like I think the South Philly like 50s. I'm gonna say 50. I wasn't around then, but like 50s, 60s, I was there. 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and then the 90s, and then After that, it started changing a
Yeah,
lot. You
yeah.
know.
Um, one thing I've noticed about Passion Avenue, um, is the fact that now they have Mexican restaurants, and that was like I was like, wait a minute, what's going on here? You know,
Yeah,
that used to be primarily an Italian Ninth Street with Mexican food places on Ninth Street. Like it's unheard of.
yeah. It's very there's everything here now. Like I said, food, the food situation here is off the hook. It's crazy. If you like food, this is the place to be, man. You know, it's just it's crazy how much different kind of food is here, and even like if you want to get into the vegan stuff and all that other there's stuff for that too. Like there's everything is here, especially the at Passyunk Avenue. It's
so
loaded with places like that.
so with all these new food spots popping up because then you get into because remember the Cambodian community had their own little section. What was that like 15th Street and like what's that like Snyder and like Snyder and all
I
that.
thought that was like around like Fifth and Snyder, like that area. I think.
Yeah, because I know they had a park where they used to play basketball, and I think that was what 15th Street somewhere,
No,
or was it?
I think that's around Fifth Street, like Fifth and Wolf or something like that.
Oh, okay, but they had their own like little like I don't know. Growing up as a kid, we never heard about Thai food and things of that nature. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
But now it's like all over, like Thai this, Thai that, or
yeah.
Cambodian this, Cambodian that. You know what I mean? It's like, do you feel like that takes away from the original food culture of South? Because I believe South Philly has its own food culture. Like,
Definitely,
you know, but do
definitely.
you think that that takes away from the original food culture?
I don't think it's going anywhere, man. If that's what you're asking. I mean, that's the stuff that's been in South Philly isn't going anywhere. It's
Yeah.
anything that comes into South Philly as far as other other ethnical is that the word I'm looking for? Other types of food like Thai food and stuff. That's just a bonus. That just makes it very diverse and more places to try, more places to eat. But like, the Philly cheesesteak and the pizzas around here and the roast pork sandwiches and stuff like that's not going anywhere. People love that stuff.
Speaking of roast, because that's one of the things that was kind of making me nervous. I felt like, you know, so many new faces are coming into South Philly that
Yeah,
is pushing the originality out of South Philly. Like, there's a lady. Her name is an Asian lady. Her name is Karen Louie. Karen Louie on Instagram. You can check out, and it's like the day in the life of working in downtown Philadelphia. And like she's going to these different places, and I'm like, no, no, that wasn't there. Like
it's hard, man.
yeah,
It's hard. It's hard to see the change.
and then the food trucks,
Yeah,
like they're not like the one that used to be on Ninth and Market. That's not there anymore. I think that the food truck that's on Fourth and Market, they have to be new people because like they don't even like the truck. The only person I know for a fact that's still there, and he's been there since I was a kid. So I'm 43. I'm telling my age. I'm 43. He always at the same spot, Fifth and South, right on the corner. It was used to be across the street from the Johnny Rockets, but that's not Johnny Rockets no more.
I
That's
remember
like,
Johnny Rockets. Yeah,
and it would be directly across the street from the T-Mobile store. But I don't think there's a T-Mobile store no more, right? Right there on Fifth and South. Yeah,
I don't
that's not
know.
the T-Mobile store. But he's the only like original food truck. Well, then the guy that's on 24th Street, if he's still there with the hot dogs, he usually have a line out the wazoo.
Yeah,
They're the only two like original food trucks that I know that are still there.
but there's but but there's more now. Like there's the originals are still there, but there's more. Like I was just looking up this one place I'm supposed to do. I don't know when that's going to happen, but everybody talks about this place, this truck, Burrito Feliz, it's called Philly. It's
What,
a Mexican food truck.
and
That
where's
thing
that at?
looks. I don't know. They go all over the place.
Oh,
They have like different locations. You have to see where they're going to be. That's what a lot of the food trucks are doing now. They're not locking down into one position. They'll go on and they'll be like, oh, Monday and Tuesday we're at the Williamstown Farmers Market. Wednesday, Thursday we're here. And they go to wherever the business is, rather than business come to them. They try to find where the busiest spots are, and that's where they park. Versus the old way. The food trucks just parked, outside of a business, and you
yeah.
went out and got lunch.
Mhm. Let me know how much more time you got because I know we're at 45 minutes and I still got a couple questions I want to ask.
Yeah, go
So,
ahead, Mo.
um, I know I want to ask about the roast pork and I want to ask about the roast beef sandwiches. But before I go to that, I kind of want to stay on the food truck thing. Um, you live right on. Well, I don't. No, don't say where you live. Don't say where you live. Um, hold on. When you cross, is that 24th Street? That's, no, that's still Passing Avenue, right? Where the plaza is, where the China House is. That's Passing Avenue, right? That's still Passing
But
Avenue, right?
yeah, part of it, yeah.
Okay, right when you go. Somebody saying hi in the chat. People starting to funnel in now.
Now
Um,
we're almost done. Where you people been the whole time? What's the matter with you?
notifications is crazy. Um, you know, how can I say it? There's a bunch of food trucks on that road. It's a little street right there. Like before, the bridge is right by the bridge. So is the bridge? I'm saying it wrong. Um, all right. So where the original hot dog truck guy used to be, right? Right there's a bunch of food trucks. It's like it's
Yeah,
like it's almost
that's
like
Pashock Avenue.
yeah, it's like food. It looked like I call it food truck row, but the trucks are never open, right?
They're not that. Yeah, there's only like I only see like one or two trucks there now.
They are moving to 30th Street Station because somebody was telling me that 30th Street Station is popping with like food trucks.
Yeah, man, they're that's what I'm saying. The trucks are like more mobile now. Now, like on Oregon Avenue, like 24th and Oregon, where the depot is and all, where Rocco's is. Remember he did the cheesesteak there?
Yeah, but that was on the other side. What I'm
Right,
talking about is right
right.
on Passing Avenue,
I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, but like
down the street
on
from what the cheesesteak place? What is that cheesesteak place called? Phillips.
Phil Steaks, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I
So
don't ever see. I see one or two trucks there now. I don't really see many,
so
many.
so, so when you because I don't know how often you get to go down to Center City because like South Philly's small, but I try to tell people how, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but how we are as South Philly people, like we're not really branching out that far unless we're like content creators like you and myself, right? So before I became a content creator, I stayed in my bubble. That was fifth and the farthest I would go is the Tasker, maybe the Snyder to play basketball, but further over Market Street probably was the furthest, right? So that little corridor is where like I didn't need to go anywhere else.
You
There's
didn't
no
need to go
need,
anywhere.
huh?
Yeah, you don't need to go anywhere else. Like that, I tell people that all the time. Uh, I get that question all the time. Like I'm doing a video. What's it like in South? What's it like to live in South Philly? And there's everything that you need within a few blocks. No matter where you live.
You
So
technically don't need a car.
you don't. You really don't. You really don't. You could walk anywhere. And I mean, I got a CVS right down the street. The Acme's across the street from there. I got a food. I got uh, the row. What is it? Row home down the street from me. I got Enzo's right down the street from. I mean, I could go anywhere. I could go anywhere I want, and I'm gonna run into something. You know what I mean? And that's the thing when you're in South Philly, you're in a South Philly neighborhood. You're not you're not that far. Even if you don't have any businesses exactly where you are, they're not far. You could just walk to them. So yeah, that's why people stayed, in their bubbles. I totally agree with you.
Um, as far as the before I forget this, um, one of my favorite sandwiches is the roast beef sandwich from Nick's Roast Beef, the original one on what's that? What
Shunk.
was that? Wolf Street, right?
That's
26th and Wolf, huh?
that's Shunk, I believe. Shunk? Yeah, Nick's roast beef is on. Hold on, I know it's right on the corner.
Yeah,
Why am I drawing a blank here? Let's see.
because what is Snyder uh Shunk Jackson or Snyder Jackson Shunk?
They're on 2149 South 20th.
Okay, yeah, because the bus runs past there. Yeah, um, one of the
Yeah.
best one of the best roast beef sandwiches I've ever tasted, and I think it's one of the most underrated sandwiches in South Philly. To be
Well, they're very famous, man. I mean, they have other they I think they tried to. Well, yeah, they did. They got other locations now in Springfield and Westchester, but this place has been around forever. There was another place called the Knicks, which was really good too.
that's the one that's in the Reading Terminal, right?
I think they're in the terminal now. Yeah. And then another really good roast pork place, two places I just did. Tony and Nick's, which is the former Tony Luke's, really good roast pork, and roast pork at John's at Front. What is that? Front and Snyder.
So
They have a killer cheesesteak too, John's.
so everybody, because I don't know if you know the Philly captain. He's
Yeah, I
a
know of
guy.
them.
Um,
I got to talk to him because he keeps calling Richie's. It's not Richie's. It's Ricci's.
you know what? That place I never. Maybe because I never ate hoagies, but when I would go get hoagies for my mom, rest her soul, I would go to Gooey Louie's. But my
Yes,
sister would go to Ricci's, right? Is that how you pronounce it?
Ricci's. Yeah.
11th and Ellsworth, right?
Yep. Oh man, it's one of my favorite. Ugh, one of my
They're a
favorite
staple.
places.
They're a staple. You
Well,
know.
they've been there forever. They've been there forever too. And then Richie bought the business from the Ricci's about 20 or 30 years ago, and they just carried over the recipes. There, they have two different Italian. I don't know if you like Italian hoagies.
I never
They
had
have
one before.
when you come down here, we got to go get one.
Yeah, for sure.
There's two. There's Italian hoagie, and then there's the old fashioned Italian hoagie. And that thing will make you dream, man. I mean, it is just you can't have it all the time. I'm glad it's in my old neighborhood because I won't go that much, but those hoagies are so good, man, and they have the portions perfect, like the meat to bread ratios perfect, perfect, man. It's so good. Best, I'll say it. I'll go online saying it. The best hoagies in the city. Hands down, I said it.
Mm.
Nobody better. There's nobody better than them.
And that's another thing about hoagies is that I grew up calling them hoagies, but you go other places, they don't know what a hoagie is. It's like kind of like it's like they feel like I'm speaking South Philly jargon to them.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I get the same thing when I go. You know, I go to like I remember I was in Westchester and wow, I went in Wawa and they call it Italian wedding soup. That's what they call it. And just off the cuff, it's just because it's just programmed in my mind. We call it scaro.
Yeah.
You got a bowl of scaro. Well, they looked at me like I was crazy. Like they have what we don't have that. I'm like, we talk about it. What do you mean you don't have it? I'm looking at it right there. What do you mean? What do you mean? Well, no, that's Italian wedding soup. That's scaro. Yeah, okay, can I have some Italian wedding soup, please? It was before the kiosks.
Oh,
Uh, so I get it. Some people call them subs and heroes. Who cares? The other thing I don't really care about is it's gravy or sauce. I don't care. I'm gonna eat
Well,
it.
now, one sandwich that I would get all the time, as far as a cold sandwich, is I would get the turkey on the Stroman's potato bread, but it's the honey smoked turkey from Dietz and Watson.
Yeah.
This stuff is a game changer. Like you
The
can't get that nowhere else in the country. That particular sandwich itself, you have to be in the tri-state area to get that because you can't get Showman's bread. You can't get what did I just the lunch meat? I just
the,
said it.
the, the honey turkey.
Yeah, the honey smoked turkey by Dietz and Watson.
Right.
Is that it's different when you order it from Amazon. It doesn't taste the same.
Nah.
Is it? You think it's because it's cut on that machine?
Well, dude. There's definitely uh lunch meat brands that are better than others. That makes the sandwiches in the area, the sandwich places in the area differ from the bad sandwich places in the area. Like they're all going to taste good. You're not going to probably get a. You're not going to. It's hard to get a bad lunch meat sandwich. But
Yeah,
when you go to a place like Ricci's, I'm not sure which brand lunch meat they get or use. I forgot which one's better, but they use the top of the line stuff, and you
yeah,
taste it.
yeah.
There's another. If you like turkey, there's another one. I always forget the name of this turkey, but if you like spicy, there's a turkey. There's a spicy turkey lunch meat.
Mm.
That's really good. I forgot what that's called. I can't ever remember it for the life of me.
Yeah,
I had to send it to you.
because Decent Watson, you can order it. You can order on Amazon. You can order Decent Watson lunch meat, but it
Yeah.
doesn't taste nothing like if I was to go into the well, we call it. I don't know what they call them now, but we call them the bodegas, the corner
Mhm.
store. Where you go in and get the lunch meat, little
Yeah.
grocery store, get your sandwiches. It don't taste nothing like that, but isn't it? Is it not the same? Is it not the same meat,
I
or is
don't
it
know. Is
because
it
they get
supposed to be Dietz and Watson? Like saying is that what it is?
it's Decent Watson,
But it just
the
doesn't taste the same.
honey smoked turkey
Yeah.
is what I is how I would get it if I was back home in Philly if I was to go to the bodega. But when
Yeah.
I ordered it, now granted I didn't have Stroman's potato bread, but potato bread I guess the meat shouldn't taste different, right?
No, but the potato bread might have masked it a little bit. Might have contributed to the different taste. That you experienced.
Yeah, that
But
makes
that
sense.
could be it.
That makes sense. And then I want to ask about as far as Johnsonville Sport. So I've never been to Johnsonville Sport. I've been to Angelo's.
Yeah.
Angelo's, I liked Angelo's. I didn't like um the Cooper Sharp cheese. I actually thought that homegrowns had a better cheesesteak. I feel like they got probably one of the best cheesesteaks in Philly, hands down. I think that bread is a game changer. They're everything roll, but everybody keep telling me to try John's pork. I want to go back to Angelo's, but I want to do it with American cheese instead of the Cooper Sharp. I can't get down with the Cooper Sharp. I'm sorry. It just
That's
doesn't
big here. That's big here. I don't even. I can't even. I won't even eat a cheesesteak without Cooper Sharp now. I
really.
love it. Yeah, I love it. Everybody gets Cooper Sharp. It's either Cooper
Maybe
Sharp or Whiz. I don't
maybe
like Whiz.
maybe I just had a bad experience. Well, not a bad experience, but not a because it just didn't. I mean, don't get me wrong, Angelo's was really good. It's really good, but I just felt like I guess maybe because I was looking for that original cheesesteak taste. It was so long when I came back. I had been gone for about almost like 8 years.
Yeah.
So when I came back, I
Well,
was looking for that original taste, and I got it from homegrowns. But
right.
homegrowns told me that they used American cheese.
American cheese. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, yeah.
yeah.
Like a lot of places, like uh, Tony and Nick's. I just did. They just started just now with Cooper Sharp. They were doing just
So,
American cheese too.
so it's taken over then, Cooper Sharp.
It's definitely. I mean, I don't. I'm sure you can get a cheesesteak with American cheese. I don't think that's going to be a big deal, but yeah, most people like cheesesteak with Cooper Sharp. It's a little saltier, I think, of a cheese, and now they sell it in a it's a bag, the shredded Cooper Sharp. So
Yeah,
and that's the key to a cheesesteak. When a lot of places will just throw like 2 squares of cheese on it, let it melt on the cheesesteak, and then throw it in a roll.
yeah,
Well, the right way to do it is you get the the shredded Cooper Sharp and you put it in the meat and you chop it all together, and it's in every part of the cheesesteak. So no matter what bite you take, you have both. You have the meat and the cheese. It's saturated throughout the cheesesteak.
yeah. That
That's
that's what Angelo's did. Is that what
Yeah,
John's Report does too?
yeah. Most places will do it. Most good uh, cheesesteak places in South Philly will do it that way. Yeah,
If,
unless it's like Cheese Whiz.
if you was to compare John's Report to Angelo's, are in your opinion are they neck to neck?
As far as what, the roast pork or the cheesesteak?
The cheesesteak, I don't eat pork at all. Like so, like
I
I wouldn't.
like. That's a tough one. I think I would give the edge uh to Angelo's. I
Okay.
got a problem with that place though. Look, it's 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 a great place. Don't get me wrong. The food is off the hook. Pizzas are fantastic. Best best food in the city, right?
Yeah.
One of the best. But the lines are ridiculous, dude. And they don't deliver. And I'm not. It's not good enough to wait an hour in line. I can go somewhere else and get a really good cheesesteak. You know what I mean?
Now, is that a certain time of the day that you got to wait that long, or is that
Well,
how it is?
that's the thing. They're only open like until a certain time, like what is it, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, or something like that, and that's it. They're done. They close up. They sell out of rolls, they sell out of pizzas, whatever, and they're done. I think, but I know you can't. They don't deliver, and I'm not going to stand there in line like that for a cheesesteak. I don't care whose it is. Because
Yeah.
I know
So you can't even DoorDash them or Uber Eats.
you could probably do that. You could probably do that. I never thought of that, but they don't have like a regular delivery here, things like that. Basically, you got to go in there, and from what I understood, when they sell out, you're done. They close, and they're busy as hell, man. It is, and they do have. I don't know what they do to that food, but the cheesesteaks and the pizzas are really good. My pizza place is Enzo's though. That's my pizza place. That's my go-to.
Yeah, I never had the pizza. In Philly, when I wanted pizza, I would always go to Fourth and Queen. Right there's a pizza place right there on the corner of Fourth and Queen. I would go there. Have you heard of? And it's right there on Third and Catherine, right where the old Rite Aid used to be. They actually took the old Rite Aid and they made it into an Italian sandwich, so you could get uh chicken parm,
Oh,
chicken
that's Farina Davida.
Salida de Vita. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I did a
yeah,
food review with them. They have some really, really good sandwiches.
they
Were they
do.
somewhere else before they moved there? Because it seemed
I'm
like they
not.
grew up.
I'm not sure. They're really big with the chicken cutlet sandwiches.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're really big with that. I just had one a few weeks ago at my cousin's house. I was supposed to do a video for them, but they just don't make time for it. I'm not going to chase people. You know what I mean?
yeah. I
Uh,
usually when I do my food reviews, I just go in.
yeah, I know you do.
Like
It's just I gotta. I'm look. I come from like a production background. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I have a hard time doing it the way a lot of these like the food reviewers on TikTok, dude. I can't stand this, man. I can't. I can't. The- This is their food review. Hey, man, I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna get this sandwich. I'm gonna come out here and we're gonna eat it. I'm like, okay. And they take the bite and then they all do the same thing. They go. Now you tell me what kind of entertainment value that is.
It's good. And then a lot of times you don't get that perfect bite until you're like middle of the way through the sandwich. You
Yeah,
know?
but every one of their videos, it's the same. It's the same head nod. It's the same thing. Like why do I? I don't understand it. I have a problem with the streaming and social media and how all that works and why people think things are interesting. I don't get it.
You'd be surprised at what stimulates people. But there is a lane for that. I think there's a lane for long form content. There's a lane for short form content, and you got to be able to bridge the two together. Because then you have the best of both worlds.
I guess. I guess I'll never get it. I don't know. I gotta stick to what I'm good at.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that look, we all need the long form content because the with your videos, you're giving more people more detail. You feel what I'm saying? Like I want to go back to when you were at Tony and Nick's, the whole cheesesteak egg roll thing. Like I think that's something that's gonna really,
Yeah.
really take off because when you think of cheesesteak egg rolls, you're thinking of small egg rolls. This
Yep.
thing is humongous. Like it could be almost like, well, I don't know where you had it. How big is it? Is it about the same size of a cheesesteak?
It's probably about that big.
Wow.
It's a big. It's like a burrito, about the
Oh
size
wow.
of a big burrito.
Wow. Wow. And so if you wanted to add ketchup to it, do you tell them beforehand or you just get ketchup on the side and you dip it?
That it comes with a sriracha ketchup.
So that's
Uh,
spicy ketchup?
it's a spicy ketchup, and and you dip it in it. So I'm sure they could just give you ketchup and you dip it in it.
Okay. Okay. What,
Yeah,
what, what was your experience with that sandwich?
I
And then
loved it,
we'll
man.
we'll get ready to wrap it up because I know we're
Yeah,
at like almost over an hour. And
yeah,
it's pretty late there.
yeah. No, how it's fried. It's a fried cheesesteak for Christ's sakes. I mean, it's tremendous. It's like
Yeah.
really good. It's not good for you, but it was delicious, man. And what I liked most about it was it's a good option. Like when you get a cheesesteak, roll stuffs the crap out of you. You like, and you feel like this the rest of the day. And I don't like feeling that, but sometimes I want a cheesesteak. If you get it on this egg roll, yeah, it's deep fried, but it's not as heavy as a big, Sarcone's roll or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's a good option.
Yeah. And as far as the roast pork sandwich, I know you said Tony and Nick's has a great roast pork.
Yep.
Uh, John's roast pork that's on Oregon Avenue. And then what is that John's roast pork that used to be on Knife in Christians? Is that still there? Because that's where my
Uh,
mom used to always go get her roast pork sandwiches
I'm not
from
sure.
Knife.
Always remember John's being the John's I'm thinking of has always been it's that little. It's a little shack
Yeah.
at like Front and Snyder. Yeah, it's the only one I know of.
And he said the Knicks, right? They have the roast pork. So who would you say is the best out of the three? For
Oh, that's hard, man. There's another uh, a place in Pennsauken called Mama's Meatballs.
oh yeah, I've heard of them.
I did a video for them too. They have an unbelievable roast pork sandwich too. That's hard, man. I'm gonna say because I've had them more. I'll give a small edge to John's
Okay.
over Tony and Nick's or Nick and Tony's, whatever the place is called now. But I'm telling you, it could go either way. It could
Mm.
go either way.
Depending on what time of the day you go there, and who's making the sandwich. I guess at that point.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it could. Yeah, you're right. It could sway one way or the other depending on who made the sandwich. It's
You
that
know what's
close.
you know what sandwich I thought was going to take off when I seen JL Jupiter. Do you know JL Jupiter?
Yeah.
He did for some reason he took it off his channel. He did the Batman and Robin cheesesteak, where the beef and the chicken together in the cheesesteak. At
Mm.
the place in I guess I think it's Jersey, or right outside of Philly. Um, Cockadoodle Doo, I think it's called. I don't know if they still even open, but they had the Batman and Robin, and it was the Philly cheesesteak and the chicken cheesesteak together. I tried to
Yeah,
go order that out here. They gave me a song and a dance. You can't do that. You can't pit beef with chicken like that. That's
dude,
against regulations. Huh?
dude, you guys don't. I wouldn't even try to get a cheesesteak out there. I would go to the Acme or ShopRite and just get minute steaks and make it yourself. It's probably going to be better.
Yeah,
You know, Ricci's will deliver to you.
yeah. Through Pot Belly, right? Gold Belly.
I don't know. They overnight their stuff.
I was actually thinking about trying, and I was going to try to see if I can get my subscribers to donate because I don't have $150 for cheesesteaks, right? But I was thinking it'd be a great review if I can get the John's Roast Pork cheesesteak, have it delivered down here through Gold Belly, try it here, and then try it at the store and can see the comparison.
Yeah,
Because I liked it Angelo's when I heated it up in the microwave, just as good as when I bought it.
yeah, yeah.
So
The only thing with John's probably better because the only thing I don't like about John's is it's chaos when you're in there. It's chaos. Everybody screaming at you. Like, hey, go there. Hey, I got one over here. There's a line. Nobody knows how to get in line, and you're reaching over people to get your. It's packed. It's just chaos in there.
oh wow. Well, listen, thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity to interview you. I've always said
Absolutely.
you're one of my favorite food reviewers. Um, and we're from the same place. We definitely got to get together. When I come back home, when I come back home the next time, I want to move back to Philly.
Oh yeah.
I'm just working on my disability and stuff. I'm trying to hold on. I'm about to leave here just without it. But what I want to do is like a South Philly food tour. And I think that we can work together and kind of take over the algorithm on YouTube with the South Philly food tour. I think we could do that.
Yeah, man. Let me know when you come back here. I'm definitely.
And you definitely got to take me to one of them white tablecloth Italian restaurants because I've never been. Never been.
Take the Poppy's is another one, man. Poppy's is another great Italian restaurant you could try. It's right near Penrose Diner. That's my diner. You find me most. That's my office. I call it Penrose Diner. I'm there all the time. I have all week.
Speaking of Penrose, they did they because I know it went down in the fire. That not Melville Street Diner, it was the Oregon Diner, right?
No, Melrose. Melrose is gone.
So are they rebuilding it or is
No,
it
it's gone.
done?
There's nothing there right now. It's weird. You go there and you look and you just see the other side. There's nothing there. They ripped it down. I believe they're making some apartments and some shop. That's like what they're doing now in South Philly. Like when they're putting retail at the bottom and then building condos and apartments and stuff.
So that was a landmark. That was
Sure
there
was, man. Yo, sure was. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
late night after the club.
Yep. Yep.
What about Ellsworth Street Diner?
What is it?
Ellsworth Street Diner. On Broad
Ellsworth? Oh, that's the Broad Street Diner.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's still there. Still there.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that opens and closes a lot. I don't know what's going on with them, but I think it's open now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I go to Penrose. That's my office.
Okay. Well, with that said, man, before I let you go, let everybody know your social medias. Also, send me the link to your uh,
Movie.
Amazon, the movie, so I can put it in the description, and so people can support you. Um, Great interview, Real and Nicky. Thank you, Terry. Terry is from Australia, so
Thanks, Terry.
she's one of my loyal supporters.
Wow, all the way from Australia, huh?
Yeah. I got a nice couple of followers in Australia. My Facebook has taken off. I'm at 10,000 subscribers on Facebook, and I just post food on there. So
Yeah, you did a good job with it. I wish I could get. I don't know. I got to figure out how to do it. I don't know. I don't
but
know.
I also ran ads as well, so
Oh,
that
did
helps.
you? They worked.
Yeah, ads and reels. Do reels. If you do food, like your short form reels, if you
Uh-huh.
put it on Facebook, it'll get you a lot of attention. The thing is, and I'll say this before I let you go. The thing is with Facebook is all about engagement on your profile page. That engagement gives you more reach, and that reach is when new people get to see your content. So let's say if you have a piece of content that you post, they show it to your followers. Your followers interact with it, comment, like, they got a whole algorithm. It'll then reach out to more people. So the higher reach you get is based off of the engagement that your post gets, if that makes any
Uh,
sense.
yeah.
And so what I would do is when I do a reel, if the reel does well, I'll boost it. Or if I have a post that is a good image post, like a picture, and it does well, I'll boost it. I did have a post that got 5,000 comments, and I didn't put any ad money behind it at all. It actually made me about $75. So, um,
Oh, I didn't realize you could make money on there.
yeah, if you're part of the Facebook performance bonus program, you could definitely make money off of your pictures and everything like that.
See, that's the stuff I don't know. I make movies. I make
Yeah,
videos. That's all.
yeah. I mean, that's why you got me. You just ask me, and then I'll let you know. Because think about it, all these little small little social media kinks, you can use them to promote your music. If people like seeing the food, you draw them in with the food, and then you can, hey, check out this long form video. You
Yeah,
could pin that to the top of your Facebook page for a week. Or you could do it even longer than that, or with the money that you're making from just the images of your food, because you're taking high quality pictures because you're using the camera, right? I'm
yeah,
just using my phone. Imagine, I had this argument with somebody that there's no way a phone can garner a better picture than a camera that's designed to do picture and video. It's no way. There's no way.
now phones are good. They could do a good job, and you can absolutely do a video with a phone. Absolutely. But you're right. There's the camera. A good camera will always beat as far as quality. You know.
Yeah, it's almost like now I'm not going to say that the phone is not far behind the camera, but it's
Oh, they're
still another
incredible.
level. It's still another level.
Yeah, yeah.
And
But they're still incredible. You can do a lot with a phone.
yeah, but I think that your photos and everything will do really well because it's already high quality and it's original content. The biggest thing with Facebook is that they want you to post high quality original content. Now, that high quality original content can be you going on Instagram, typing in breakfast burrito, strolling all the way down to the bottom of somebody that has 100 something followers. They have a picture that's a good looking picture. You take that picture, crop it, post it on Facebook. There you go. And now you get paid off the picture.
Well, I might just start doing things on Facebook because I kind of had it with YouTube. They ain't holding up. They ain't holding up their side of the bargain.
Yeah, YouTube is definitely a place that you got to grow it. You got to
Yeah,
grow it, and sometimes it takes time, and you just got to find your lane. So like me, I do a couple of different things. My channel's been taking off lately because I've been doing a lot of the celebrity drama and stuff like that, the YouTube drama, and that's just me talking about it. But that brings in a different audience from my food reviews, and then I have my shorts, which is my food and my cats. So I have a bunch of different things that I like to play with on YouTube to see what works, what brings
yeah,
in subscribers, and I think that's what you got to do. You got to always do stuff that you're passionate about first and
yep,
foremost, because that way it's not like you're doing work, and then that way as you're building it, you don't feel like you don't get frustrated. It's just
yeah,
you still having fun.
yeah, yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
But like I said, if you ever need anything from me, I sent you my number on Instagram, so you have my number now. Just call me if you got any questions. It don't matter what time of the night is. Just call me. I'll answer the questions. You know what I mean, to the best of my ability.
All right, brother. Well, I appreciate you having me on here.
You're welcome. I'm gonna let you down, and I'm gonna close this out. And thank you so much for allowing me to interview you.
All right, Gumba.
You have a good night.
Take it easy, man.
You just say bye bye. So, guys, that was the one and only Nicky, food critic from South Philadelphia. Guys, His content is amazing. Let me get the link to his channel really quickly. He's going to send me the link to his his movie that's on Amazon, and then I can plug you guys in with that so you can check that out. Um, plug you in with that. So let me see. Mhm. Yeah, been having a lot of technical difficulties, guys, with the internet connection. So that's why we were kind of late. Um, so here is the link for his channel. Make sure y'all guys go subscribe. Make sure y'all go watch his videos. Very entertaining. Very, very cool. Nice interview, Bill. I sent on IG message for you. Okay. Okay. Well, guys, I'm going to end this. Make sure you have a wonderful night. If you're watching the live stream, please come back and leave a comment on the video. It's very, very important. It helps with the algorithm. And make sure y'all go check out uh, Nicky's movie once I get the link. Nicky, if you can, if you have the link, do you want to, before I end this, do you want to post the link to or send it to me really quickly so I can post it before we end the live so that way it's in the chat as well? Okay, perfect, perfect. Well, guys, like I said, my goal when I get back to Philly is to do a South Philly food tour because I think that's really important, and I don't think a lot of people have done it. Actually, tonight, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look that up. I'm going to look that up when I get off of here. I'm going to look that up and check that out. I think that actually I should have the link to his movie. But you send it to me on Instagram, right? Let me see. Nicky, I'm gonna bring you back up real quick, Nicky. Um, are you sending me the link to the movie on Instagram? Because I think if you post the link, it's not gonna be a clickable link. I think I might have to post it or Ahmad has to post it.
I just posted I just put on the link right from Amazon in the chat. And
Okay.
that should take people to the movie. But if you go to Tubi, there's another one, or Amazon Prime, and
Okay.
just type in Coffee with God, it'll pop right up.
Because I have Amazon with Prime, so type in coffee with coffee with what?
God, God.
God, okay.
Yeah, it'll pop right up.
Okay, it's a book. So I need to go to the Amazon movie, right? Part of it.
Yeah, Amazon Prime.
Nope.
If you have an Amazon account, then most likely it'll be free. If you don't, then it would be like $1 or something like that. But if you want to watch it for free, go to Tubi, Tubi. Download that app, and that's a free.
Oh, there you
There'll
go.
be commercials, but you'll be able to watch it.
Prime Videos,
There you
right?
go. Yep.
Okay. Not now. Now I should be able to plug in the title and get the link. Here we go. Yeah, it says it's 99 cents. Here we go. I got it. Okay. Now, because I have Amazon Prime, I'll be able to watch it for free, right?
I believe so. I believe that's how it works. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm about to post a link into because it didn't even come up here. It didn't even come up in the chat. Link to Nicky's movie. And you filmed this in Philly or just in the tri-state area?
Some in Philly, some in like Percy, Allentown, Delaware County, all over.
Share. Copy link. Let me see. We'll try this again because movie. This should be better. Paste. There we go. There we go.
Terry got it.
You got it. And I'm
Terry
also
got
going to
it.
add. I'm going to add it to. I'm going to add it to the description of the video as well.
I appreciate it. You know, Phil, we're really proud of that movie. It took us a long time to make it with hardly any money, and it'd be great if you guys could watch it.
Yeah, I wanna try to get to watch it. I never did a movie review, but I was thinking about how I would do it because I wouldn't mind doing a movie review for you. You know, since I have Amazon Prime, it's not going to cost me nothing to watch the movie, and I'm supporting you. So I want to figure out maybe what I'll do is I'll set up a movie night on my Discord. Me and my Discord people could watch it, and then we could do like kind of like a review of it. You know, trying to think of something cool that'll draw some traffic to it. You know.
Cool. I appreciate it, man.
All right. Well, let me end this live stream because it's already been an hour and a half. I'm end this off. Yes, do a review. Okay.
Terry said to do it. You got to do it.
Yep. You gotta do it. Well, thank you again. I'm going to end this live stream, and yeah.
Good night, everybody. Yeah, and hey, remember one thing: wherever you go, there you are.
Absolutely. Please believe it. Please. Ha ha.